Ronald Reagan, 1911 to 2004. He was an actor, governor, and the 40th President of the United States, 1981 to 1989. He grew up in a small town in Illinois. Ronald Reagan served 2 terms as president. He cut taxes and increased defense spending. He made a nuclear arms reduction agreement with the Soviets and is credited with helping to bring a quicker end to the Cold War. But why did he want the Berlin Wall down? Where did the words of "tear down this wall" come from?
There is one sign that the Soviets can make that would be unmistakable, that would advance dramatically the cause of freedom and peace. General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
But what was the Berlin Wall? The Berlin Wall was a 66-mile-long, 11-foot-tall wall furthered by 41 miles of barbed wire fencing. It was guarded by more than 300 armed lookout towers. The wall didn't just enclose the city, it enclosed all of West Germany. It didn't only close off the West and East, but it closed off families, mothers from their children, and people from their jobs. From 1949 to 1961, more than 2.6 million people left East Germany to live in West Germany. Life in the West was much better. There was no communism, and the jobs in the West paid better. Also, the money in the West was worth more than in the East because they had different currencies. 1 German mark in the West would equal 4 German marks in the East. The people that lived in the East would work in the West because they got more money. They could use that money in the East for 4 times more than in the West. This made the East extremely angry. So on the night of August 13, 1961, the first attempt at a wall went up. The wall got bigger and stronger as the years went on. The rights of the German citizens were stripped from them just to keep the economy of East Germany alive. There was technically 2 walls, and in between them there was an area named the Death Strip. The Death Strip was filled with traps like barbed wire, electrical fences, and ditches, not to mention all the snipers up in the watchtowers. Some people tried to cross, and some made it, but not the majority. 336 people died trying to cross. 30 died in accidents, 8 soldiers died. After the Soviets heard people were trying to cross the wall, they added even more security, like guards with dogs. How did America have a say? The Cold War was a war between the United States and their allies, and the Soviet Union, Russia, beginning after World War II. During World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union fought together as allies against the Axis powers, though the relationship between the 2 nations was tense afterwards, because Americans were scared of the Soviet communism and the Russian leader Joe Stalin's bloodthirsty rule of his own country. After the Cold War, defeated Germany was divided into Soviet, American, British, and French zones. By 1949, Germany had become like 2 separate countries, the German Democratic Republic, West Germany, run by the Allies, and the Federal Republic of Germany, East Germany, run by the Soviet Union. The Cold War is why Germany was divided into West and East, and they were completely different. They had different currencies, government, rulers, and laws. So, what did Ronald Reagan do to contribute to the destruction of the wall?
Still an instrument to impose upon ordinary men and women the will of a totalitarian state. Yet it is here in Berlin where the wall emerges most clearly. Here, cutting across your city, where the news photo and the television screen have imprinted this brutal division of a continent upon the mind of the world. Standing before the Brandenburg Gate, every man is a German, separated from his fellow men. Every man is a Berliner, forced to look upon a scar. President von Weizsäcker has said the German question is open as long as the Brandenburg Gate is closed. Today I say, as long as this gate is closed, as long as this scar of a wall is permitted to stand, it is not the German question alone that remains open, but the question of freedom for all mankind.
Ronald Reagan sought world peace and freedom. He didn't like the picture of a divided Germany. He disliked the idea of communism completely. Partially because of Ronald Reagan's speech, Germany is now a successful communist-free country and one of the United States' allies. And it's partially because Ronald Reagan decided to take a stand in history. So, what's the wall like nowadays? It's now a museum, and the memories live on.